Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Down, down, down. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show on a Tuesday night. Down. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show for your own delight. Down. Oh dear. What's that you see right there? It's Crabbington Steel. Bum, 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 bum. And that can only mean one thing, folks. Remington has been ambushed by groupies on his way into the studio, and he has not made it in yet. We couldn't delay any longer, so his cousin, old reliable Crabbington Steel, has been pulled in at the last minute to act as a potential replacement or addition if Remington actually fights through the monkey-like grip of all those groupies out there. Good evening, Mr. Crabbington.
Yes, good evening. You were really lucky. I was just taking a break from, doing not illegal things. I was just taking a shower. Now I'm done. And I guess this will be a great show because I'm here now.
I did notice that one of your recent showers was actually broadcast live on the internet, and then there were pictures of it on the Crabbington Steel fan page.
Oh yeah, that was an unfortunate leak from my webcam that I have installed in my shower for personal reasons, per se, and that wasn't planned. I will just get ready back on the camera because I'm kind of crashing on her couch right now. And yeah, let's not talk about the shower pictures again.
We've heard enough about your unfortunate leaks anyway, Crabbington.
Yes.
We usually get enough talk like that from Rem.
Too much.
Okay, yes. Get out of here, Crabbington. Okay, there we go. Of course, we also have Dreddy right there. Hello.
Yes, hi. How's it going? I'm also fresh out of the shower. My hair is still dripping wet right now. Can make squeaky noises with it if I want.
Now, I assume you are utterly prepared for this show since you had so much advance warning that Mr. Remington might not appear.
I'm super prepared. I have a long list of topics prepared, and I'm super informed about every single special rule the new Ogres have, which are not new, but they're kind of new. And I will put him over there.
People in the audience are asking already if your hand smells like crab hole.
A bit. It's kind of crab holey now. There's still that faint shower smell on it, but I might have to wash it afterwards.
By the way, folks, anyone who's missing Remington, don't worry. He may actually be popping up at any time throughout the show because he was around a little while ago and now he's not. So maybe he's fallen asleep, in which case I have sent him various text messages which should have roused him, you would think. Or he could actually still be stuck in that gaggle of groupies that are outside. So if he comes in, you'll know because he'll burst straight into song. That is the instruction he is under. So let's have a look at the fabled active users list, shall we, to see who's been chatting away. We've got Bazooka J Rambo, Dead Gamer, Demon_lizard_from_outer_space. I think Drunken_elf has got a bit of competition there for the #1 _. We've got
Indeed.
Graham Rigg, Grave Danger, Master Dwalin, Mini Warrior, Russell Higgins, Sam Rylett, Slackdorf, and of course Newbie. And I think I just spotted, yeah, there he is, Rob Lloyd, sweet. And there are a few others chatting away earlier. There's James Whack Gaming. Okay, and we've got a few more. Dan Halstead. So it's definitely a packed house tonight. The Soul Assassin as well. I knew there was another name in there. And Retropia TV, in fact. So, without Mr. Remington, shall we dive straight into the topics for this week? Because there are a few.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. I'll get the old screen share prepared. So this is a subject that's very close to Mr. Remington's heart, so it's a shame he's not here to dive into this. We have, of course, got all these lovely new pre-orders to look at, which are ogres, but iced up to the eyeballs and on the new round bases. So you can see the prices of everything. Doesn't seem to have changed at all. I believe the Stonehorn Thunder Tusk was £36 before. However, the Mournfang have changed a bit. I think they've gone down a tiny bit in price. Possibly. I'm not sure, actually, because I suppose they could have been £30 for 3 before, in which case then it would work out the same.
£30. I think like 2, they came in boxes of 2, I think, and they were like €25. I'm not sure right now. It seems right that 4 would cost 40.
There may be a slight reduction in price on the Mournfang there. Then, of course, the Yetis, which people thought were going to be phased out. No chance whatsoever.
I'm really tempted, to be honest. The new Yeti box with round bases, really tempted right now. Because before, I think you could only get them in blisters, if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't feel like buying them like separately. And I guess they're not metal anymore.
Well, it actually says that they are fine cast.
Oh, well, that just swung my decision.
Although, if you look, they're already full of holes. So what can it possibly do to them?
Yeah, some Yeti holes. I mean, you can. I mean, they're Yetis. They're like snow creatures, and you shouldn't let them out like in the summer sun anyway. I don't like that, and it will just. I don't know.
Well, let's have a look at all this, shall we? So, Icefall Yetis, or savage creatures of the frozen wastelands. They appear from the howling blizzard that follows in the Alfrostun's wake to hack apart their prey with weapons touched by magical frost. Moving with the speed of the freezing wind, they maim and kill before vanishing into the blinding white once more. Do they really? Well, let's find out, shall we? So, they are pretty rapid, these Icefall Yetis, which is what I'm going to be calling them from now on, I think. 9-inch movement. That's 3 or more of them. Subtract 1 from hit rolls against them.
That's alright.
I'm not sure whether any rules changed on these War Scrolls, but usually there are a couple of changes when they repack everything and give them their own battle tome. Bounding leaps. Yeah. They can pile in and attack 6 inches. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they could do that. And also you can run and charge with them in the same turn if they're within 16 inches of any friendly Thunder Tusks when they charge.
Oh, they have to be around Thunder Tusks, so I see.
Which is quite likely for someone who's playing the Ogors, or the Beast Claw Raiders, should we say, since the regular Ogors are probably going to be something different. And of course they have the destruction keyword, Beast Claw Raiders, and the Yetis. I'm going to assume that the Icefall Yetis keyword grants them no benefits whatsoever from anything.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe in the future, maybe there could be like a Yeti Shaman or something. Who knows?
That might be wishful thinking there.
Maybe.
Now, you're a bit of an expert when it comes to Bigfoot and Yetis and the Abominable Snowman and Sasquatch and all that.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a crypto nerd. It's true. So I have played with the idea of like just getting a few Yetis for the lols for my Night Goblin army for a while, and I might. I mean, I don't get that one bonus, and I can live with that. So I kind of like the models, but I wish they were a bit beefier and a bit fluffier. Maybe just fluffier, like really thin, but like really fluffy, like a Chihuahua. That's written that Chihuahua is the wrong dog. Like those fluffy dogs, and you like put them in the shower, and they're really thin all of a sudden.
I think a lot of dogs are like that.
Yeah.
Now, do you like the Yetis because they're just cool, or is it just the fascination with the Sasquatch that attracts you to them? Because I know you are a big fan of certain internet shows revolving around hunting Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think it's mostly like the actual like Bigfoot fascination, like the Bigfoot nerdiness that makes me want to have Yetis in my army. Because, I don't know, the models are alright, they're not outstanding, but just the concept, I like the concept of like really reclusive creatures that just come out at certain times. Like, I imagine those yetis would just come out of the mountains to like aid my army in times of, I don't know, and then eat a few night goblins and then bugger off again after they did whatever they wanted to do.
They're kind of like wargamers, really, aren't they? Just reclusive creatures, and they just come out whenever the horn of battle has been sounded.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of this other stuff, shall we? The old Mournfang. Let's see what it says about them. Ogors mounted on Mournfangs form the core of the Beast Claw Raiders' Alfrostuns. I'm going to mess that word up eventually. And are always at the vanguard of a raid's assault. The Beast Claw Riders heft clubs, blades, and pistols, firing point blank into their foes before laying about themselves with brutal abandon, while the beasts trample and gore anything unfortunate to get in their way.
I used to have one of those in 8th edition, and it always got shot by cannons, and it made me sad.
How many Mournfang did you have?
I'm lying. This is the Mournfang pack. I was thinking about the Thunder Tusk.
Did you have a Mournfang as well?
I sadly never had them for some reason. I don't know.
Surely every ogre player had Mournfang. That was like an unwritten rule. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was written in certain places. If you went to any of the internet forums... I'm not known to have
efficient armies ever. Like, I just build armies out of stuff that I think is cool to paint right now. So, and the Mournfang were kind of at the end of the list always. So I was like, nah.
Yeah, back in 8th edition, you would have been chased off any internet forum if you submitted an ogre list that didn't have at least 12 Mournfang in it, I think.
Incidentally, I wasn't chased off the ogrestrongholds.com, which is just the stronghold.com now, I think, which is a great forum that destruction people should join.
It certainly is. So let's have a look at these suckers and see if anything's changed here. They still look pretty tasty to me. With the move of 9, with their 6 wounds each, which is more than your average character, of course. D3 damage on those pistols. So those pistols are actually pretty tasty in their own right. And then when they get into combat, of course, multiple attacks, multiple damage on most of these things. So they're just combat beasts pretty much. And let's have a look at their special rules, shall we? Whenever you make a successful save roll of 6 for the unit armed with the iron fists, the attacking unit within 1 inch suffers a mortal wound. Okay, yep. Each time Mournfang pack model completes a charge, select an enemy within 1 inch. On the roll of 4 or more, the unit suffers a mortal wound, which basically replicates the old impact hits. Okie doke. Apparently, some people in the audience are getting a little bit of lag. I'm going to blame the old German internet again.
Maybe. I don't know what kind of lag it is. If it's actual stream lagging or if it's like the sounds in it lagging or whatever. They have to be more specific.
Yeah, let us know if you're getting any sound lag or just picture lag, because picture lag we can deal with, but sound would be absolutely disgraceful.
Yes.
So the Mournfang still look pretty tasty. Now, we're going to get to the real cheese right now in the old Beast Claw Raiders. So let's start with the... Which one shall we look at? Let's look at the Huskard on the Stonehorn, first of all. Because this is where the ultimate cheese is found. So he's even got a little bird on his hand.
I like him because he has a bird. Like, I like ogres in general. But the bird just makes it so much better. Little vulture.
Huskard yawls and Huskard earls lead their warriors from atop the backs of formidable Stonehorns. Together, the beasts and their brutish riders are master line breakers that use their impressive strength to batter their way through all obstacles, be they serried ranks of armored veterans or reinforced castle walls. Okay, now, I believe it's one of the special abilities that people complain about with this bad boy, because it's very, very similar to the Thunder Tusk in terms of the level of cheese that it has. Apparently the lag isn't anything to do with us, it's just one or two people have got in their internet
in general.
Mr. Newbie,
Yeah.
I think, is having some trouble with YouTube, unfortunately. So it's not us, because to me it all sounds fine, everything we're saying right now.
Indeed.
It's a nice change, because your German internet has been a little bit temperamental lately.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah, a couple of other people confirming that there is no lag whatsoever. Okay, here we go. Earth-shattering charge, first of all. If a Huskard on a Stonehorn is within 12 inches of any enemy models at the start of each charge phase, it must attempt to charge. After this model completes its charge move, pick an enemy unit within 1 inch. That unit suffers d6 mortal wounds. Right, so you just get to charge into someone and deal d6 mortal wounds. Halve any damage and mortal wounds inflicted on the model when it already has 12 wounds.
Quite nuts. Like, both of those are quite nuts.
So, assuming that sometimes it'll just be taking 1 wound, so it wouldn't be able to halve it, let's assume that puts it up to about 19 or 20 wounds, perhaps. Which is quite beastly.
Indeed. You kind of don't want to shoot it with arcane bolts and stuff like that when it has that ability, because it feels wasted. So it might even live longer because your opponent maybe doesn't want to target it at all.
Indeed. Then Blood Vulture. Let's have a look at that one.
Best part.
The Blood Vulture. So it can release it to hunt within 30 inches. Your opponent then picks one of their own units within 30 inches. Okay. Roll a dice. On a 1, 2, or 3, the unit your opponent picked suffers a mortal wound. On roll 4, 5, or 6, the unit you picked suffers a mortal wound. Okay, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a bit like, I don't know, Jeff's little cousin, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a Jefflet.
Yeah, a Jefflet.
Line Breakers. After a Huskard on a Stonehorn attacks in the combat phase, you can pick a Mournfang pack within 10 inches. That unit can immediately pile in and attack if it's within 3 inches of the enemy and has not already attacked this phase. So you can get multiple units piling in and attacking in one go, not having to wait your turn, with Mournfang nearby. So there's some nice synergy there. I can see why this thing is considered beastly. It's also got the likes of the Harpoon Launcher that is just dishing out random D3 damage, which is okay.
How many points is it in the new match play version?
In the General's Handbook, I can't remember off the top of my head how much this is, but I will go and have a look at some point.
Right.
Now, let's go on to the Thunder Tusk, because this is the cheese that I've been on the receiving end of once or twice in battle reports that people may remember. Let's look at the Frost Lord on Thunder Tusk, shall we?
Yes. Did those exist before the character models on the Thunder Tusk? I don't think so.
I think the models probably did, but I think they might have rejigged them a bit.
Because I can't remember that I ever saw the box with like a character model on the things. Like the one I had just had the like 2 normal ogre option pretty much.
Maybe they've still got the normal ogre options on there, but you just build them in a different way with the parts now.
I mean, I got mine second hand, so maybe, I don't know.
Because that's what
maybe
they did.
There were options that I didn't get.
That's what they did with the Crypt Horrors. Just told you to assemble them in different ways, and now they're new models. So maybe they've done that with the Thunder Tusk. If anyone knows if that's the case, let us know in the chat. Let's go for the old PDF on this one as well. A Frost Lord who rides to battle on a Thunder Tusk is a blizzard-cloaked warlord, a true herald of the Everwinter that follows in his tribe's wake. The permanent aura of magical cold emanating from his mount has chilled the Ogor's very soul, leaving him as a pitiless hunter who cares for nothing but bringing down his prey.
He's like Mr. Freeze.
It does.
His condition has left him cold to everything.
Yes, my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy. What killed the Thunder Tusk? The Ice Age! Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Mr. Freeze in this episode, rest assured.
Yeah.
So, the reason this guy is such a cheesemonger, let's see if it's still there. Okay, it certainly looks like it. Frost Wreathed Ice. Okay, so I don't know why they just don't put it as a special rule if all the stats are below. Because in the
Yeah.
shooting phase, pick a unit within 18 inches. Yep, this is the cheese. Roll the dice. On a 2 or more, that unit is struck and suffers the number of mortal wounds, and they call them mortal moons then, shown on the damage table.
That's nuts.
So, if it hasn't been that wounded yet, 6 instant mortal wounds on a 2+. And even if anything within 18 inches. So you could just remove pretty much any character model you feel like from one of these small armies.
There's a goblin war boss. Let's not have it anymore. Let's not have a goblin war boss over there anymore. I don't want to play against ogres.
Yeah, although you wouldn't be able to do it to, let's say, Belagar Ironhammer, because he would halve those mortal wounds coming into him, so you'd have to do it twice on him. And then, even when you've taken up to 5 wounds, it's still D6, which is still considerable. And after that, it gets much less effective, obviously, when it's almost half dead. But you have to get it half dead first, and it's got an 18-inch range. It's got a 3-up save as well, which makes it quite survivable, and 13 wounds. So,
yeah, that's nuts. The whole thing is just nuts. Peanuts.
And remember, even when it's in combat, it can still use this. But of course, when it's in combat, it's going to start slowly taking damage as well. So you probably don't even want this in combat necessarily. Although, even when it does get in, your opponent can subtract 1 from any hit rolls that target this model in the combat phase as well. Just because it wasn't quite good enough already.
It's frosted nuts.
It certainly is. And then, with his booming voice, Frostlord signals the hunt. If you use this ability, you can reroll all charge rolls for friendly Beastclaw Raider units that are within 14 inches. So I assume that is common to the Frostlord. So that would be the same if you put him on the Stonehorn as well.
Yeah.
Right, so this thing is still a giant piece of cheese that Mr. Remington will gladly turn up to a battle with, I'm sure. Leroy Jenkins has popped up in the chat right now. I'm assuming it is the very same famous internet legend Leroy Jenkins and not just someone that's hijacked his name.
Yeah, he left his party to die in the instance while he just went on YouTube to watch something.
So, there is a lot of beastliness here, and he's made a suggestion here. I'm going to look at the Huskard on Thunder Tusk quickly, because he has given us a juicy piece of information there. There we go. Huskard. Bum, bum, bum.
Huskard. You can play your Huskard.
Yes, the Huskard. Winter's Endurance. A second skin of ice forms on the unit as it is rhymed with a healing frost. 1 model in the unit heals D3 wounds, so you can use that to heal up the Thunder Tusk. Well then, it's only you can attempt to harness the energy. It doesn't look like it's automatic. So pick a Beastclaw Raiders unit within 18 inches, so that can be yourself. Add 1 to the result for each other friendly Thunder Tusk unit within 18 inches. On a 4 or more, select one of the abilities below. So if you have a few Thunder Tusks, they can all just be healing each other and getting +1 to the roll, if they have Huskards on them. Which means that you would then be free to unleash this bad boy at its maximum effect.
That's quite nuts. I mean, it's a lot of big models that you have to transport to games. They're quite powerful, but they're also a pain in the butt to transport, I would guess. Especially if you have to take public transport maybe, and you just have 1 backpack, and you need your hands free because you're at work earlier or something. So it kind of has a downside maybe, but maybe not. I personally hate transporting really big models. I don't like it. I like big models, but...
That's what magnetization was invented for, I think.
Yeah, I hate magnetization too, though.
Now, my throat is destroying me at the moment, and absolutely killing me. If I read another one of these things, I may actually die. So I'll read this out in a slightly more soothing voice, shall I? More than a terrifying brute to face in combat, the Icebrow Hunter is a cunning stalker who utilizes his surroundings to launch ambushes with the aid of his frost sabers. Not only does he slay opponents with spear and bolt, but he also has the power to breathe a killing blizzard over his foes by drinking a magical elixir distilled from the blood of his hunting cats. I made that sound much
Of
more
course.
pleasant than it's supposed to be, I think. So,
Those poor hunting cats. Why would they work for him?
yeah.
Just drink their blood.
7 wounds on
I
this
wouldn't do
sucker. D3 damage on these weapons. With 12-inch
Right.
range on his hunter's crossbow.
He has a throwing spear. Yeah.
So, let's have a look at his abilities, because that's what it's all about for this guy, I think. Icewind Hunter can make an attack with the Great Throwing Spear, even if he made a run move. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Mr. Remington doing that. Also, if you do run, then you increase the damage from D3 to D6, and its range from 9 inches to 18 inches.
Indeed.
So, now technically, you don't have to run forwards. As Mr. Remington did, he actually ran backwards and then launched this spear.
I would do the same. I would just run in a circle even because it doesn't say I can't. Like, I would just end up in the same position in the end and just throw the spear and just use it like a bolt thrower.
And
That's how I plan to use my hunter that I have.
Oh, look at that face there.
Oh, yeah.
Very icy.
Very Santa Clausy.
It actually looks a lot like the Santa from the film Santa's Sleigh, which is about a killer Santa, and it stars Bill Goldberg, the former professional wrestler.
So it's like a cinematic treasure.
It is actually really good. There are a lot of well-known actors in it who are only in the first scene, which makes
like
it kind
Jeff
of funny.
Goldblum.
He's not in it. Although, I think it was their sick sense of humour that most of the people that get killed by Santa are Jewish, and Santa is also played by a Jewish person. Which I think, I'm sure they did that deliberately as some kind of comedy element.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, let's see.
Icy breath.
Yes, icy breath.
The freshest of all breaths.
It is. He had some of that really icy chewing gum before he went onto the battlefield, I think. So pick a visible unit within 6 inches of the Icewind Hunter and roll a dice. On a 4 or more unit, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Okay, so that's pretty
That's all right.
Instead of attacking with his missile weapons, though, so why would you do that? I suppose maybe if you're really close, because it is more likely to hit than, let's say, the throwing spear, which only hits on a 4.
That's true. That's true.
Now, I've just heard a limo pulling up outside. And I think the groupies are amassing. Someone is fighting their way through them.
Especially because Rem is naked, as he has just confirmed via social media.
Yes, I believe he is.
He woke up without his clothes again.
Again.
Someone on a park bench.
Let's stop this screen share for a minute, and let's get ready for the imminent arrival of the Remington.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Uncle Frank. How are you
Oh
doing?
God, it is a naked Remington.
Haven't seen you. Oh God.
The Naked Rem Show, ladies and gentlemen. Right, where's this intro song that we're supposed to have?
This is the intro. It's visual today.
I had no words.
The outro. Hey, listen, I'm sorry I got held up. I was jet washing all the front and back garden, all the slabs, and there was like algae and moss and everything, all the things that Nurgle deposits. I was jet washing that off and it went all over me, so I had to have a wash before I got infected.
So you were jet washing everything that Nurgle deposits from your body, basically.
In my body.
Anyway, Mr. Rem, you've just missed all the Ogre War Scroll breakdowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the Ogre HP?
War Scrolls. That's all right.
Yeah, that's your favourite part of the show.
Really?
Yes. And by the way, I did promise a couple of weeks ago that whenever we got new patrons, then you would stick something to your head. And I think we forgot to do it last week.
Oh, okay.
I
So
remember that.
you need to stick something on your head with like the Nurgle juices that are still there. They should
No
hold it
way.
in place.
No way, I'm not doing any more of that. Hold on while I just plug my microphone in, see? I'll come straight out of the shower into the show.
There are 2 freshly showered people in the show right now. Andy, did you take a shower right before
I
the
did,
show?
but it was quite a few hours ago, so I'm probably not quite as fresh. Although I am actually, if I position my shoulders like this, I'm kind of like a floating head tonight. That's quite weird, actually.
It is.
And what did the audience think of this magnificent T-shirt as well? I noticed that Mr. Remington doesn't have a Remington Steel T-shirt yet.
Surprise, surprise, huh?
Yep, we're working on it now.
Everyone has a grade A merchandising line, like me. Where
Yes,
people
your
can
merchandising
buy
line is
the-
actually really successful, isn't it?
Yeah, people are buying it by the droves. They're just sending crates full of Dread Cave mugs out every day.
Now, by the way, Mr. Remington, I could just not tell you for the entire show, and it'd be funny, but I am going to tell you. That microphone you just plugged in is not yet active because you haven't gone into your Hangout settings and set that as the mic yet.
Hello?
So you're still talking with your other microphone at the moment.
Hey, it worked last week.
That's because it
You
was
can just
plugged in when you
pretend
came in.
I'll come out. Shall I come out and come back in again?
Nope, you can just go into the
pretend you're
settings.
using it.
Settings.
Use your headset.
Hey, Dreddy, if you need me to, jet wash your Dread Cave.
Oh god. No.
If anyone in the audience would like Remington to come round and jet wash their cave, then leave a comment now.
How's that? Can you hear me now? Hear me now.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is much more.
Yeah.
That is much more microphony.
Hear me now. Boogly, 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 boo. Pow! Sorry,
Yes.
it's just another track I'm working on.
Yeah, I wouldn't quit your other genre of music just yet, Mr. Rem.
So I missed the War Scrolls. Any new releases? Come on.
Well, there were only the pre-orders for the repackaged Ogors, which seem to be equally as cheesy as they were before, with that old D6 or just straight 6 mortal wounds at 18-inch range malarkey that someone likes to dish out on a regular basis.
That's not changed then.
Nope.
Thunder Tusk. Wow.
They kept that in there. The Stonehorn's still beastly as well. And the guy riding on the Thunder Tusk can heal it now. I don't know if he could do that before.
I don't think he can hear you.
Hey, he can heal it.
Yes.
Wow.
It can basically heal itself. You can have multiple Thunder Tusks and they can all be running around healing each other.
That's not fair, is it? It's not fair, man. I just bought some of these yesterday. How about these, right? Savage Boar Boys.
I was worried
Yes.
what you were reaching down for then.
Yeah, they're quite savage.
Yes. Do you know what? It took me all
Thanks.
day just to assemble 4. It took bloody ages to assemble each one. So I've got some more Savage Orcs. There's 2 kinds, you see. There's just the Savage Orc Boar Boys. They're the ones with spears, and they can retreat and charge in the same turn. Or you get the Maniac ones, and they can fight twice. So after the combat phase, they can go in and pile again straight away. So they're the ones I'm doing.
There's your War Scroll analysis from Mr. Remington for this week. I've
Yeah,
just
you
had another possibility for why you've appeared on the show naked, by the way.
I'm just drying off. Sorry.
I'm thinking it's because your live laundry stream, which has become a huge channel in its own right, and if you're not subscribed to that, get searching for it now, Rem's Laundry, then you actually realised after you'd finished your stream that you'd washed every single garment that you had for streaming purposes, and you didn't have any left. Is that true?
They're just drying off now. I just jet washed everything. My entire back cave here.
Yeah, let's not do too much standing up, just in case. Just to be on
Get
the
this
safe
towel
side.
off. Hold on, and I'm stuck because the earphones are plugged in. Hold on.
Oh God.
I don't even care. I just find ding-dongs funny. I'm not aroused by ding-dongs, just for
I
the
think
protocol.
YouTube would be aroused to the extent that they would take down my channel immediately.
Maybe.
I
You
think I
could
would-
say it's for like medical purposes, like a medical documentation stream
I
here.
would definitely have to download the show and then edit out, or just put a censor bar across the screen and then
So-
re-upload it.
Don't be so prude, Andrew. Here we go. Look, I've gone toga style. It's class.
Okay, that's much better. Now we only have a single nipple in shot on the show. Okay,
Holy
let's
crap.
look at something safer, shall we? So here's something that isn't currently active anymore, but it was running this week. They've started bringing in these special rules for fighting with particular armies during certain days.
It's quite neat, I saw that.
Yeah, so the Wind of Death, which is something Remington suffers from on occasion. So Nagash has grown strong on the souls slain in the season of war, and now creates a twisting gale of death that sweeps across the Jade Kingdoms, empowering his servants with unnatural vigor. So basically, if you...
Bonus.
Yes,
It's quite boring in itself now.
if you were playing a season of Wargame using a Death Army during this time period, and this rule is in effect, Death units may add 1 to any run rolls and charge rolls. Whoop-de-doo!
1 inch? You don't say.
The almighty power of Nagash can summon an additional inch. It sounds like he should be sending out spam emails to people rather than helping on the battlefield.
That's quite funny. It's the sort of thing you get in the back of some magazines, isn't it?
Yes.
Get an additional inch.
But there is another one here as well that has much more text. So let's have a read of this, shall we? The forces of order seek to hold the line against foes from all sides. With their enemies closing in across the realm, the Ever-Queen unleashes a surge of life magic that sees verdant new wonders appear where before there was naught but destruction and carnage, and her allies healed and renewed. Okay then, so this one looks a bit more beefy, and this is in effect until Tuesday, midnight. So you've got a little bit more time to use this one. If you start a game now, you could probably squeeze it in. So if you're playing Season Wargame with this, roll a dice on a 5+, the Ever-Queen's blessing sweeps across the battlefield. Let's see what that would do. You can heal 1 wound on an Order hero, heal D3 wounds on a Sylvaneth model, or place a new Sylvaneth Wildwood anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 inches from any models.
Well, that's better than Nagash's, little handout there. You can just place a whole Wildwood, just like that.
You could.
I think there should be some kind of magic spell or some kind of faction that gets the chance to burn woods down, or destroy. Actually, destroy scenery.
A wonderfully popular scenario that involved burning down the forests and Cecil the magical unicorn rejuvenating them and regrowing them from the ashes with his magical horn juice.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Maybe the destruction factions get some kind of ability to, and maybe it takes a couple of turns, but they can destroy the wood, and then anything in it just gets burnt down, burnt alive.
Burnt down. Oh,
Yeah,
by the way, I have an on-topic model here in my hand right now. I just realized that. I received an Alga Butcher that is not original GW, but let's see if it focuses. Does it?
Why, kind of.
Not quite focused.
It looks like a spirit host.
No, it's just like an old ogre lady with a cleaver.
Is that the ogre, old hag?
Yeah, that's the old crone from the dicebacklady.net. Where you can get her for I don't know, 8 quid or something.
Right.
Maybe if I put her in front of my forehead. That's what I normally do.
Remington style.
But she's a great alternative model. There we go.
Okay, now speaking of models that are being painted, I thought this week we could have a look at some of the models that our various audience members have posted in the Andy and Rim Show Facebook group.
No, it just reminds me how terrible I paint.
Well, that's the idea. It's to inspire all of us to greatness. So first of all, here's from Andrew Judd with his lovely Khorne troops here. Now, Mr. Rem, you're actually painting up some Khorne troopers at the moment as well, aren't you?
I'm really, really bored of them, man. I will take a picture of them right now, and I'll send you it, and you can put it up for everyone to see. But Andrew's done a cool job there. They look really angry. Red-faced.
They do look quite angry, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
There are a variety of skin tones as well, which you don't normally see in units.
Yes,
People normally batch paint.
That's true. I like how the guy in the middle looks a bit like he forgot his sunscreen and then went out for a jog for 6 hours and came back.
Yeah, it's like when you apply sun lotion in the morning and then realise you forgot to take it with you and you're out all day in the baking sun.
Yeah, like me with my allergy, where I couldn't leave the house for 3 days. Doesn't show up on camera, but I have lizard skin right now. It's really gross.
Well, lovely piece of paintwork there. Moving on.
At least you'll get a +1 save.
Yeah, the scaly skin save. That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's true.
This is from Lee Ascroft, which is of course a Star Drake, with a bit of a messy paint background there he's got going on, but you get the gist of it. Lovely and scaly, some more scaly skin for us to marvel at here.
It has little buddies on its face.
Yes, a
Hanging
couple
out.
of Liberators just chilling on its base. I wonder if they're going to grab onto its legs when it flies off. By the way, Dino Titan Edition says that Rem is early. The Naked show is actually next week. Yes. Mr. Rem, I think you are actually kind of spoiling the topless hangout that I was planning on doing at some point.
Just like
Well,
a preview thing from it. I'll just send you this picture. Okay, this is pretty cool. I will text you this picture, and then like you can put it up.
if you text it to me, I don't think that'll help whatsoever.
Oh.
Like an ASCII characters.
Yes, you'll have to send it me via Facebook Messenger. Now, the resolution of this picture isn't that great, so I would implore Mr. Lee Ascroft to take a higher resolution image so we can see the full majesty of this thing. Now, continuing the Stormcast theme, of course, Amy Snugs. With these, I think these are the Fulminators.
You know, this is the first like non-GW paint job I've seen of these guys.
Yeah, and they're heavily battle damaged, and it adds a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love them scratches on the spear thingies they've got. What do you call those things? Sword spears?
They're not exactly lances, are they?
Like Naginatas, I think. Is it a Naginata? I think a Naginata was curved, though. I'm not sure right now.
Well, they're some kind of spear. Some kind of pole arm, anyway.
I like pokey sticks. Holy
There's the
pokey
quote of the
sticks.
night there. I like the kind of glow effect on the eyes as well.
Yeah, great.
And the mouths. I've got my Lord Celestant here, riding on his Dracoth, and I wasn't sure how to go about painting the mouth, but I think I've been inspired by these things here. They were actually what inspired me to start painting it again, because it's just been sitting on the table for quite a while, and I'll stop the screen share for a second, and I'll move this really close to the camera, and you'll be able to see a close-up of the skin as it focuses. There you go. It's purple. Haven't finished it yet. It's just had the first couple of dry brushes. It actually focuses really well at point-blank range, this
That's
camera.
great, man. Just ignore the first picture I sent you, Andy, because I accidentally took a picture of my nads.
Oh dear, oh dear. Again, I'll add it to the folder.
Sorry. I'm like doing my phone down here and it pressed the... I sent it. Okay.
I'm almost worried to check Facebook now. Well, what you could do, Mr. Owington, if you want, if that is a real thing that's happened and you want to spare me having to look at that, you could spam.
It's not very flattering.
You could spam a ton of messages, so it like fills the screen, and then send the actual picture you intended to send after those messages. So I would only be able to see it by scrolling up, which of course I will not be doing. So that would be my advice to you right now, Mr. Remington.
I'm looking at it. I can't actually make out what's what. It's just it looks.
Well, maybe we should use that for this week's What the Hell Is That? I'll
that
take
would
it.
be quite.
Well, yeah, we'll change it so it's actually just zoomed in on a random Remington body part, and people have to guess what it is.
They're fulminators. So you only get 2 in a box then, right?
Yeah, you do, and I'm actually looking at ordering some at the moment.
How much are they?
£30-something for 2.
I like how happy they look, though. Happy little Dracos.
I want to get another Lord Celestant as well, which you can get on eBay for around about £10. I sold mine for about £10, but I want to buy one back now, because you could easily convert them with the spare bits from these and get them cheaper. So I'm going to look at doing that to get more of them.
How many wounds do they have? Like 5?
Yeah, something like that.
So only 10 wounds altogether. But £30, I got 10 Savage Orruk Boar Boys. They've got 30 wounds. There you go.
Oh dear, we've got another model here. This is from Minnie Genver, by the way, the niece of Mickey Genver, who is becoming quite a painting maestro at a young age here.
How old is she?
I would have been incredibly proud of this.
Amazing.
When I was her age, I painted Hero Quest models with a giant watercolor brush and those glossy model car paints, and it was very far away from that painting quality.
When I was her age, I painted a Space Marine Sergeant, and if you've ever seen the video Thin Your Paints,
Oh yeah.
yeah, with the rah and the Space Marines with the really giant eyes painted on, that was what my Sergeant looked like back then.
That's how my whole Hero Quest box looked like. Every single monster was really surprised all the time.
huge eyes that fill half of its head. But anyway, we could have the next potential Golden Weasel champion on our hands here if she continues this accelerating improvement in painting ability.
That's just terrific. Metal models, I think they're harder to paint myself. That's great.
They certainly can be. There's a lot more potential for paint chippages as well. So you need multiple layers of varnish if you're going to be handling them rigorously.
It's true. And even then, I had my Battletech Atlas just fall over the other day and it was instantly chipped, while other models I can just throw on the floor. Nothing happens. Plastic.
Now, while we're doing the what the hell is that this week, I'm going to go over to my Facebook Messenger and see what Rem sent me. And if it's visible right there on the screen because he hasn't taken my advice and spammed loads of messages first, then I may release the image that it has some indistinguishable Remington groinal body parts and release it possibly to patrons only. That would be a nice treat for them, wouldn't it? Everyone suddenly cancels their patronage right now. Okay, so Mr. Rem, are you prepared to deliver the What the Hell Is That theme song?
Yeah.
Do you have your instrument in your hand?
Yeah.
Is it tuned up?
I don't know.
Okay, remember you have to get the instrument and your face a bit close to the microphone here, and I'm going to go over to the What the Hell Is That picture very shortly, so everyone be prepared, because it's a very icy theme this week, and there are 5 miniatures located within the ice. Mr. Rem, take it away.
What the hell is that? 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 Only Auntie and Remington know.
Ta-da!
Well, look at that.
Oh god.
Cool party! It's a cold town.
He's just cooling off.
And now this line isn't one of his. I think this one's from The Simpsons, but I always love this one. Ice to see you. Classic. So,
Yeah.
5 miniatures.
You are too early with your nerd confessions right now.
Well, I suppose we could do demon_lizard_from_outer_spaces nerd confession now while we're waiting for people to guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have a nerd. Well, it's not really a nerd. It's kind of.
Well,
no.
should we let our guest go first, Mr.
Yeah,
Remington?
go first. Yeah.
Yeah, last show you were like, let's do nerd confessions, and then you just talked about, what was it? Like something you were really excited about that was completely different. Like
Yeah, we
the rest
might
of
just
the
talk
show.
about Robot Wars later as well.
Yeah, this robot, that was it. Like, let's do nerd confessions. Oh, this robot is so cool, it has an accent, and no one got their stuff in from the audience.
While everyone's guessing, I'm going to read this out first. Nerd confession. Some days ago, I heard someone in a random YouTube video saying, "What the hell is that?" Instantly had the theme song in mind.
It's quite catchy.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one of the songs added to the soundtrack that's going to be released hopefully very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Remington, what was your nerd confession while we're waiting for those guesses to come in?
Oh, it wasn't a nerd confession. It was just about that film. I fell asleep in that film. Was it one of the Batman films? It was, wasn't it?
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I fell asleep in it. Is it the one with Two-Face in it?
No, it is not.
You sure? Oh no, it's got Poison Ivy in it, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I fell
The one with
asleep.
Two-Face in it was... was it Batman Forever that had Two-Face and the Riddler in it?
It had the Riddler in it. I don't remember Two-Face. Might right now.
Yeah, Batman and
It
Robin
might.
was Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, wasn't it?
I have in the nerd confession from last week that I put in the chat is that I own more paint pots than I own underwear. That's my nerd confession.
More paint pots than underwear. I think I could join that club as well. I have quite a lot of paint pots. Okay, we've got some guesses here now. Let's see. Dino Titan Edition says Arachnarok, Ogre Hunter, Knight of the Imperium, Blood Dragon Vampire, and Archaean. Well, you have got 1, 2 correct right there. Only 2. Come on, folks, there are 5 miniatures right there. Can either of you two spot any of them without giving it away to the audience yet?
No.
I think
I didn't even try.
that black flag is flummoxing me.
Is it indeed? Maybe people need another blast of the What the Hell Is That theme song. And if no one's guessed by the time this theme song is finished, the extended edition, then I think I'm just going to have to start giving it away.
What the hell is that? 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 Only Andy and Remington know.
Okay, so Dino Titan Edition has guessed here. Giant Bat and Panther Knight. Well, I'm going to give you 0 points for that. That's not close enough, I'm afraid. Now we've just got people talking about Batman in the comments. This isn't conducive to a swift resolution to what the hell is that, folks. I'm convinced no one's going to get this. I'm going to start revealing the pieces one by one, I think. I'll give you some clues. So, we've got, of course, the mighty wing up here. Now this is from the second worst bat model currently available from Games Workshop. This flag is... someone was correct saying it was from some knights. And in fact we've got some more guesses here. Okay, here we go. Leroy Jenkins says Icebrow Hunter, Arachnarok, Bretonian Paladin, Night Lord, Head. So that is 2 correct there. Newbie, a Thunderhawk, a Rhino Gear Stick, a Space Marines Colostomy Bag. No. You're on totally the wrong track there, Newbie.
Well, there's a clue. There's a clue on that black flag. It looks like the Comet of Sigmar.
It certainly does. And this tongue here, I'll give you a clue. It's quite fiery. Bum bum bum. We've got a guess from Sebastian Blau. Demigriff Banner, Arachnarok, Ogre Fist. Well, Ogre Fist isn't really specific enough, but I'm going to give you 2 points. Stu Gibson, Vampire Bat, Ogre Hunter, Demigriff Standard, Arachnarok Leg, Skaven Tail. Well, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 for that, I think. Dino Titan Edition, Demigriff, Ogre Hunter, Night Lord Head, Ragnarok, Magma Dragon. Well, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 for that. So the thing that's catching people out, either this thing here or the bat's wing. So you know what? I'm going to reveal it now.
No!
I don't think anyone's going to get all of them. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. It's the bat swarm. Someone said vampire bat. It's the Arachnarok's leg. It's the hunter. It's the Demigriff banner, and the Magma Droth's tongue.
Well done, Andy. That was a good one. So
There you
who got the most there? Was it Stu Gibson?
I think it may have been. A couple of people got 4 points. So it's shared this week. If there was a prize, then we would be in some serious trouble right now. We are going to be having some more prizes of some description at some point soon, I believe, though.
Yes. You can win my original wisdom tooth that got pulled last week. I will send it to you in the mail.
I should have asked to keep my wisdom tooth when they took that out, but I think the problem there, I think they had to actually cut my wisdom tooth, like maybe in half, to take it out.
Yeah,
Luckily, I was unconscious at the time because it was quite complicated because it was completely like on its side. So they had to go in, slice all the gum down there, and then I think they had to like cut the tooth in half, take that half out, and then pull the other half out. Something horrible like that.
I'm so happy that they just popped mine out right away. Like.
Do you know after it comes out, can you put your tongue in the hole?
I was able to do it. I actually ate 3 hamburgers the next day because I have the best healing gums ever. Didn't give a crap.
Yeah, I've still got a bit of a crevice there now that I can find.
I don't even feel a hole anymore. Even though, look at these tooth's root. It's just like a crocodile tooth. It's not even like, it's just one big root. It's crazy. Should I make an objective marker out of this, like a Nurgle objective marker?
No, you should buy the orc shaman who's carrying those big things in his hand and put it as one of the things he's carrying.
Oh, that's brilliant. I should do that. It's also so gross, but it's hilarious.
There
I
you
will
go.
do that.
Now, I'm just going to take this moment to grab this picture that Mr. Remington sent me and show it to everybody. No, not that one. The one that's suitable for broadcast on the internet. So, here we go. And there you go, folks. Wrap your eyeballs around that. So, there's a lot of scullage on that, isn't there?
There's so much. I've got this flayed one flesh, and it's like dried up a bit, so it's just like congealed paste, and it's just like ruining all my models now. But I still put it on. So if you zoom in on his face, I've had to just like add loads of like layers because it's just like a repair job, really.
Good old Remington and his congealed flesh. Now, what's this in the background? It looks like some instructions for something.
I'm building a guitar pedal.
Tip, hot. I beg your pardon. And the ring is cold? What? Well, I don't think we want to read any of these instruction books. Look at the shape of it. Yeah, let's get away from that.
But I can't remember what you call that guy. It's big blood secretor, is it? Blood secretor. Blood secretor.
Well, how many of these corn dudes have you got left to paint now?
Well, I think I've just base coated the last 10 blood reavers, so it's just like layers and washes and trying to repair the damage the flayed one flesh does done. But I'll be glad to see the back of these guys. I tell you, bored of them now. They're actually great models. They're so detailed though that I don't know. I got into just painting one-offs. Like the Silver Tower was brilliant because I was just painting one-offs. But when you're doing,
so many dodgy comments in the chat right now.
Oh, really?
I can imagine. Yeah. Anyone who's missing out on all these comments, you've certainly missed something. There's no way we could possibly read all of them out. Most of them highly unsuitable for broadcast.
Yeah, neither shouldn't we.
Now, in an attempt to hijack the comments back on topic, I've got something for us to talk about. So, in the spirit of the season of war, during the season of war, if you were to utter the word Remington during one of your games during the season of war, what bonus do we think that should give you?
You automatically roll a 1?
I don't know. Maybe you could do it once per game for battle shot purposes. If you summon Remington when rolling the dice, it's automatically a 1. So possible, maybe the audience have some better ideas for that. And another one for if you utter maybe Dishlicious when rolling a dice. What comes up then?
I think when you say Remington, like your opponent has to like carry their army back in a loose box, like they're not allowed to put them in their army case. It has to be in a loose box and they have to drive in a car.
Hey, you know what I've been doing? Do you know when you go to get a Chinese takeaway and you get those little hold on, you can't see anything, but you get these little things, don't you? Well, I like clean them out, and these are great. You know, just put your figures in them, and you put like 6 of these in a bigger box, and there you go. You've got a carrying case.
Yeah,
is this why all your armies are so chipped?
Then look, I've got 6 blood reavers in there now. Look at that, beautiful. It's not going anywhere. That
until you get in that car and drive for 2 hours.
I mean, they can be okay if they just have a bit of padding, just a bit of paper tissue around them to hold them in place. That's normally enough. It's like the bare minimum that I personally can endure.
Do you know wrapping with tissue? That reminds me of a nerd confession, right? Do you know I used to order a lot of like miniatures off eBay. I used to win them, and sometimes the way people wrap them, it was like, all right, I'll get like one miniature like that. That's a ghoul, right? And it's not gonna really get damaged too badly. Just a little bit of bubble wrap in a padded envelope is all you need. But no, get a whole bog roll, wrap, sellotape, wrap. Put that, and then they've used like an envelope that's already been used about 2 or 3 times. So that's got loads of sellotape around it then. There you go. That's a confession. Very annoying.
And when you try and cut it out of the taped up tissue as well, that's quite a chore.
The best packaging I had ever for an eBay model was it didn't even come in a box. It came in like a plastic bottle that someone had like cut into halves and put all the models in bubble wrap and then put the bottle back together and just like duct taped it around. So I just had a bottle in my mail with models in it, and that was very interesting.
Okay,
Andy,
we've got some suggestions here, by the way.
Got any more of those pictures I sent you, Andy? I sent you about a dozen.
Well, I'll get to them shortly. But Graham Riggs says -1 to the dice for shouting Remington. Auric Love God, which is an interesting concept, has a suggestion here. A divine wind blows across the battlefield, blowing your clothes off. D6 troops have to run from the battlefield chasing their clothes. Here's the question.
What if they're already naked?
Yeah, what if they're slayers with their butts on display already?
Yeah, or yetis.
Yeah,
Yetis are just
yetis.
fluffy.
Maybe the yeti fluff kind of parts in an embarrassing manner.
They just get shaved. Shaved yetis. We need models for that.
The shaved yetis. I've seen a few of those at wargaming conventions.
Sounds like a band name, the Shaved Yetis.
There's an interesting question here from Retropia TV. With the new monthly White Dwarf magazine coming out, will you be covering it on the show, or would you consider doing special monthly mini-episode just to cover it? Well, Mr. Remington, let's start with you here. Would you be interested in getting the new White Dwarf each month? Going back to the monthly format? Is it something you're going to be grabbing?
I'd like to get the first one that comes out, because you get free, some free models, don't you?
You do, I believe, yes.
What are they?
I haven't actually seen yet what they are.
I think they haven't told us yet what it will be, but I will get the new White Dwarf. The new format it sounds really good. It sounds like the White Dwarf that I enjoyed back in the day. And
It's
I
going to be
hope
worth
it
a
will
look,
be.
isn't it?
I heard it was something awesome that you get with it. Like, I can't remember the minute. Someone will write it in the comments, but it makes the free Sigmarine model we got when the Stormcast come out look pathetic compared to what you're going to get with this one.
Maybe you will get free fine cast fellbats.
Fine cast fellbats. I might actually buy it just for that and then set them on fire.
I think it's one of the Chaos heroes you get, you know.
That would be
It's
cool.
the Slaughter Priest.
Not so cool for me, but it would still be cool.
No, it's the Chaos hero who's got that hammer that's on fire and he's like swinging it around. The one that no one bought, 'cause he looked a bit sort of... He didn't look quite good, as good as
Well,
the others.
Well, here we go. We'll buy the new White Dwarf, and then we'll review it kind of on the show. Analyse if it's back to its old ways or whether it's still as lame as it has been for the last couple of years. So, can't ask more than that. YouTube Newbie wants to see a Crabbington Steel model.
Yeah, I guess your mate from Wasteman could do a perfect rendition of a Crabbington model.
Yeah, he is a pretty
Like,
damn good
he has
sculptor.
that- Yeah, he has that certain like sculpting style that would fit really well.
Indeed. Now, there is another topic I want to ask you two folks about. Have either of you seen the painting tutorials for the new gaming boards on Warhammer TV?
No.
No, I saw the board though. It's in my shop. £160 they're selling it for.
Well,
Good.
the how to paint them videos I think Mr. Duncan has done about 6 different ones to paint them in different styles, like Realm of Life and Zench and Nurgle and so on, with all the different colours you'll need. And at first I thought, well, he's only painting a board, how complicated can that be? But actually some of the techniques do look quite amazing when he's finished. And I think it'd be easy to replicate as well because it's on such a big surface so anyone could do it. But the one thing that I didn't really approve of was that he was saying, now, we don't need to use a palette for this, so let's just... And then he tips the tiny pot of paint upside down onto the board and just tips out all the paint onto it.
Wow, does he get
That's
spread?
for quid.
Like, how much money would you have to spend to cover one of those things?
How much coverage
Yeah.
did he get for it?
Well, he said, let's spread the paint around a bit, and then it just cut, and it was completely covered when it came back. So we
No.
didn't see him going back and bringing like 8 pots out. But luckily they do sell those new really big tubs now.
Yeah, you know, if you got one of these boards, what theme would you make it into?
I am not 100% sure.
Do you make it orange?
I would find a way to work orange in there, definitely. I wouldn't necessarily do fire or kind of heavenly, because I've already got battle mats that convey that theme. Interesting one. It depends. If my Dwarden have been released by then, and I decide how I'm going to paint and base those, I would probably do something similar to the board.
What about you, Dreddy?
I think the board is cool, but I don't think I would get it at all. If someone would just hand it to me and be like, here you go, paint it, I think I would just make it like overgrown and green and lots of flock, like Gairan, Realm of Life, like, because it's like my home realm for my army.
Cool.
Or try to do it in a Realm of Death, kind of. But a different board would be more suitable for that. Because I would actually like to make a Realm of Death dedicated board. That would be fun. Just lots of tombstones and weird statues and gnarly trees and swamps and stuff like that. But yeah, this board is more... It feels more Sigmarite-y, I think. Maybe Elvish.
Mr. Remington, would you make yours in the Rem of Beasts?
Hold on, before I answer that, let me just copy Dreddy because she was so cool back then. Hold on. Well, I would make mine pretty generic, I think. You know, wouldn't want to just give it one vibe because I've got lots of different armies, so.
That is certainly true. You could, if you wanted to match all your armies, you could just cover it in potpourri.
I could do that indeed.
You would have to get like 10-year-old potpourri that's lost its scent and some of its vibrancy.
What I'm using now, it's not potpourri. I got given these flowers and they take ages to die. I've had them for like a month, and they've got all these little kind of buds on them, and they're awesome to put on. There's like random pieces of flowery on your base. Do you want me to take a picture for you?
Oh dear. Make sure you got the camera pointing the right way this time.
Alright, hold on.
We don't need any more patron exclusives. This is a bit dicey.
Yeah.
What on earth is he doing?
How much flock is needed for the board? I think you would need a lot of flock for the boards if you want to cover the whole board. Luckily there's like alternative flocks that you can get or make yourself out of. Almost everything.
There's some comments here. Newbie, they're alright boards, crazy price though.
Yeah.
If they are expensive. Auric love God. If you can afford the board, you can afford to dump out the paint. That might be a reasonable point.
But you would be, I think you could just... I don't think there's a reason to buy original GW paints to paint that board. There's enough alternatives that are way cheaper, way more affordable, way more economic.
Yeah, they are really amazing. It's just that price is quite steep. You could get like 6 battle mats for that.
Yeah, I mean, holy crap. Not for a table. Like, GW paints, I enjoy them. I enjoy painting with them, but no.
Yeah, I don't fancy the idea of painting all those sections of the board either.
Yeah, I mean, you can just get acrylic paints, like, in really big bottles at the, what's it called, in the Englands, where you buy tools and, like, wall paints and stuff like that.
Hardware.
The hardware store, I guess. That's what I usually do for terrain. I just paint it with those big acrylic bottles and I just water the paint down. Then I'm good. I even used to do that for bases.
Oh, he's
just
back.
like
He's wearing clothes. Mr. Rem?
Hello?
Looks like you're wearing clothes now.
Yeah, had the opportunity to slip into something more comfortable.
It does look quite comfortable, actually. Quite silky and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like this show in general. So, I'm just going to go and have a look and see if Mr. Remington sent me any interesting pictures. And there is a picture of some not quite potpourri here. Okay, here we go.
Okay, put that up and I'll talk you through how to use them.
Let me just get this ready in the old screen share section. So, are you folks ready to look at some not potpourri? There we go. So, Mr.
Okay.
Rem, if you would like to deliver a hobby tutorial now and tell us how to make use of this wonderful stuff.
Okay, now if you just go to like about 5 o'clock and zoom in, they look like little, down a bit. Yeah, in, zoom in. It's like Blade Runner, isn't it? Zoom in.
Yeah, we're zooming in on the reflection in one of the leaves here.
Yeah, now you see those things that look like daisies? They're amazing as just like a random thing sticking out. And then if you go left a bit, and they last years as well. I mean, I suppose you could put like some kind of glaze on them if you want. Left a bit more, Andy.
That's as left as it goes.
Oh, up then. There you go. Okay, it's on ready at the minute. I can't see the... There you go. Okay, well, you
What
see
we
those,
look at here.
like, bally things? They're kind of good if you, like, bunch them together. You could, like, paint them white and they could be, like, skulls. And then, like, you've got the big... Like, you've got the cactusy things. They look great on big monster bases. So, there you go. Free hobby advice for you.
Yeah, I
Indeed.
bet there's also ways to like dehydrate the plants quicker, but I know of none, so.
Right. So, does anyone have any more nerd confessions they want to spill out before we start wrapping this one up?
I don't, but maybe the audience. Who knows? Let's have a look. And give
Anyone?
them some time to type.
Yes, let's talk very slowly to give them time, ample time to type out their nerd confessions.
Well, while they're doing that, Andy, what about Andretti? What do you think is going to come next for releases? What's next?
I would think more campaign books, because that's what I've been doing.
There's
Like all the
loads.
time.
Though. There's loads already.
Yeah.
I can't keep up
But
with
that's
it.
the stuff that can always keep coming, pretty much. And I like that.
So you think when this season of war gets wrapped up, it's going to be like a massive tome that will come out, like in Archaon?
I personally would enjoy it more if they would release like smaller, more affordable books with campaign stuff in it, because I like the big books, but they're like €60 or something. And I would rather like spend, I don't know, like 10 or €20 per month and have like a few new scenarios to play, maybe.
Do you
Maybe
remember-
they will do that with White Dwarf, though. Who knows?
Do you remember the old campaign packs they used to release? Like there was an orc one with a little cardboard piece of terrain. I think it was like the Idol of Gork. set,
Yeah, I still have that somewhere.
and it had a campaign in there as well, I think. Those things were fun.
Yeah.
Something like that. They could do that with the terrain pieces they do now.
They
That'd
used
be a nice
to
combo.
have one. It was called the Lich Master. Do you remember that one? And you got some. No. Well, that's older. It's probably before you were born.
Quite
Was
possibly.
that like 3rd edition or something?
Yeah. So what do you think will come out next, Andy?
As far as armies go, I think if it's not the Dwarden, which it should be, but they have already had some love, and so have the elves really though, because the Sylvaneth are kind of linked to the elves, so we've already had some of them. So I don't know apart from that.
A grot really be great.
Grots would be fun, but I don't think that's coming yet. I think probably the rumour on the horizon is that we're going to get a new Age of Sigmar starter box at some point soon, with Stormcast
Yeah, I mean we have the
versus
small one now.
Zench.
What, Stormcast again?
Yes, they are.
It will always be Stormcast and starter boxes now. They're the Space Marines.
They are. They're going to be in there permanently, so get used to it, Mr. Remington.
Yeah, but Space Marines are the most popular army. You know.
They want
Sigmar-
Stormcast to be the most popular army. And I think they probably are in terms of new purchases.
Well, I don't know. You'll have to show me some statistical information on that, Andy. I'm not sure about that.
I'll have to ask one of my inside sources at GW. We've got
Yes,
some nerd confessions here. Yes, we do. Dreddy, do you want to read some of them?
Bazooka J. Rambo, my nerd confession is buying rule books and games and not getting around to playing them and then buying another new one. Yeah, I think we have all done that. Like, this book looks cool, I will play the whole campaign, and then none of your mates is up for it ever.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I'm there.
That is a thing that people do a lot, definitely. With me, it's not so much the rulebook usually. I usually start with buying models and then realise no one wants to play it.
Yeah, with like smaller systems that are kind of cryptic, that's true.
There's one here from Cimmerian Shadows. I once nicked some pieces of slate rock from a posh London estate's garden for basing purposes. Not sorry.
I think I actually have a familiar nerd confession. I steal sand from playgrounds and I feel really bad. I feel like a burglar when I do it. Like, I go out late in the evening with a little like pot where I can put the sand. I go to the like playground and like steal some sand and I just walk away and I feel like I'm doing something super illegal.
Is that why people complain that your miniatures smell a bit like child's urine?
Yeah, like old ice cream, bubblegum.
I do that all the time. Look, I got this from a kid's playground. It's like soft, barky stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
You know why they have that? It's so when the children fall off things, they don't hurt themselves. So now, when children fall, if they're in a wargaming rich area, then they're going to be having grazed knees and broken wrists and everything.
Not if they shout Remington just before they fall.
I don't know if that would help at all.
Oh, here's one of my terrain paint bottles. There we go. It's just brown. You can even use this for like brown bases and it will last for forever and you will save so much money because it's just dark brown and it's acrylic paint. So
yeah, can't you just get like any old acrylic paint to do these boards?
Here's the kind of thing I've been using for painting larger things. This black, I made a wash out of this one.
Do you start with a spray, or does Duncan start with a spray?
He does not. He just dumps the paint out onto the board.
But do you know the bit that lands on the board first? Isn't that going to be just like too thick, then?
He spreads it out though.
maybe he just did it for the lols, just because he wanted to do it once in his life, just pour out a full paint pot, and he got paid for it. So.
Well, I've just come up, as you've been talking, I've come up with $1 million idea of this week.
Oh, God.
Remington's $1 million ideas, right? What about inventing a tool to help you spread the paint once you pour it on?
Like a brush?
No, but it's more like a rake. Do you know what a rake is?
Like a really big brush.
It's like you rake leaves, don't you? It's like a claw thing, but it's like soft on the end, so it like spreads it out evenly. There you go.
So you don't want it with the like claws on it, like a rake, though. You want it more like a hoe. Is that right?
A hoe with an E on the end.
Yes. So Remington's suggestion of the week is that he has invented the hoe. Excellent. And no one could have possibly seen that one coming.
Look, that's not the only thing I invented. There's something I've been keeping from you guys all this time about how I made all my money. Well, I actually invented the spork as well.
I have my doubts about that.
It's spork. If you don't know what a spork is, it's a spoon and a fork mixed in one, and it's like made of plastic. So it's really good for like prisons and places where you don't want like metal.
To shank people. Yeah.
I wonder how many people get stabbed in prisons with a spork on a yearly basis.
You're welcome to do the research. You'll see the spork was invented by Remington Steel.
Actually, you know what the spork reminds me of? It reminds me of the old kind of medieval tool they would use to pluck people's eyes out, because that was kind of a spoon with little prongs on the end.
Oh, God.
So maybe that's an alternate use for the spork. Anyway, I feel like we're getting off track of it here.
the one will turn up at Andy Palooza / Ramcon with a spork. You might
Yeah,
have to
let's hope not.
search people at the entrance.
So, Mr. Rem, did you watch this week's Robot Wars?
No.
Ooh.
Although last time I watched it, I was like just like a zombie in front of the TV at 3 in the morning. But I've been going to bed like so late because I'm off from work. I've been going to bed like 4:30, just when the light starts creeping in through the windows. It's making me just so tired all day. So I'm trying to get out of that habit.
That's a good idea, and
But
I think
I missed it.
well, when you get round to watching it, or the next episode, we'll have to spend another half hour when we're supposed to be on Nerd Confessions talking about that next week.
$1 million idea just happened again. Robot Wars, the board game. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's entirely unique.
And then you assemble your own miniatures out of different parts to make your own robots. Hey?
I
Blam.
think several people have had that idea already.
There was the old Robo Rally from GW even. But you didn't assemble your robots there, you just had the little guy and they just went around, I think.
Come
You
on,
know,
Andy,
before-
get some
before-
enthusiasm about these ideas, man. I'm like a think tank, a billion-pound think tank here, and you're just like middle management, just constantly like, trying to be the gatekeeper. Just get on board
I think
with it, man.
you've trundled over a think tank trap, unfortunately. Or you've stepped into the ideas minefield without one of those whirly little minesweeper things on the front of yourself. So I think we should probably start wrapping this one up before you have another $1 million idea. So here we go, starting the screen share. And folks, of course, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, like the video, refresh the page when it's over to leave a permanent comment, of course, so that your comment will live forever and go down in the annals of history. Don't forget to check out Mr. Remington's channel for your one video per year. Don't forget to check out Dreddy's channel for your one video per sometimes week, sometimes month.
Yeah, normally like once every 1 or 2 weeks right now, but it's summer, so
And
Who
I'm
knows?
sure Mr. Remington has prepared a suitably cold and chilly Yeti-related song for us for the outro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds so prepared, doesn't he, folks? And also, keep in mind, this week, here's something for the permanent comments. If you leave permanent comments on which armies you want to see in our battle that we're probably having this week. Now, people last week suggested that they wanted to see Bone Splitters versus Dwardin. If you want to see that, or if you'd rather see Bone Splitters versus Undead, or if you'd rather not see Bone Splitters at all, let us know in the permanent comments which armies you want to see. Otherwise, those ideas will be lost forever. So, Mr. Remington, get that chilly dance music out there while Dreddy possibly delivers our other special guest onto the screen for a dance-off.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when the ogres begin to flower. Gonna do everything I told you. Paint all the models I bought you in the midnight hour. Yeah. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when Andy stops being middle management. I'm gonna think $1 million ideas. And I'm gonna tell you all about them, 'cause I'm not attached. And there's always another one. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm the only man in Leicester who's got 4 Yetis. The only man in Leicester who's got 4 Yetis. Are they any good? I missed the bit where Andy and Gloomdreddy did the War Scrolls. So I'm going to have to rewatch this edition of the Andy and Remington Show. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.